Welcome to the RSI Trade of the Day. My name is Benjamin Poole, head trader here at Verified Investing. And happy Monday to everybody. The stock market, certain stocks are like ripping today. Zim and Tesla are some of the ones that are just soaring on the back of some positive news for those companies. I've also got another couple companies that I'm eyeing as far as like overextension on the relative strength index. But the first thing I want to talk about is the RSI Trade of the Day from Friday. So let's go ahead and go into that. So here's the chart of, hold on one second. Not sure why. Here we go. Here's the chart of Baidu. So Baidu was the trade of the day on Friday. So on Thursday, I was mentioning to you guys that the relative strength index as well as a price action headed higher. And so here's the price action on Baidu on Thursday, which gave us the setup on Friday. Nice price action. Relative strength index stayed above the 70 and then dropped below the 50 and then briefly pierced the 30. However, the price action ended up heading a little bit higher. So on Friday, I thought, you know what? This thing is going to gap up and it's going to give us an opportunity to short this thing. Well, it gapped up. It actually pre-market had gotten all the way up to $118.67, which is a pretty good move, about a 4.5%. So because it had already gotten to that level pre-market, I was anticipating an additional extension move right at the open, driving that price a little bit higher before the pullback. Our entry price was $120.25 with a decent sized pullback, a $2 pullback all the way to $118.25. Unfortunately, what happened with Baidu is pre-market it hit 118.67, and then ever since that point had this pretty massive fall off. So it dropped 4.5%. So got to almost the break even or closed flat on the day. So unfortunately, that one didn't trigger. Now, there was another stock that we were eyeing as well, and that stock was Tesla. So I got to talk about Tesla for a second. Tesla is up today pre-market. Let me go ahead and take the regular trading hours or extended trading hours off. So here's what happened. I'd also mentioned that Tesla was possibly a good opportunity. I gave you a specific level to short it. I actually took that in the live day trading room. The relative strength index on Thursday indicated that price action was going to go higher. So on Friday, I decided to get into this thing. Well, what ended up happening is the price action headed up. We got a minor pullback, and then it just kept ripping. So when I give you guys stop outs, it's on a 15-minute closing basis. I had decided that because it was overextended on Thursday and going into Friday, it should have given a pullback, kind of like what happened at Baidu. Unfortunately, what happened with Tesla is it kept running. And then look at this. I ended up stopping out of this for a sizable loss. But what I noticed here is the relative strength index gave some good negative RSI divergence. So price action was heading higher. Relative strength index was heading lower. It dropped below the 50 several times. And so this was putting in a nice bear flag. This indicated to me, based on the fact that on Thursday it was overextended, Friday should have gotten a pullback, but it didn't. So we had to navigate this trade. We ended up taking, like I said, a loss. But look at what happened. Relative strength index did drop, but the price action stayed high. And so I've gone over this several times, right? You got to be aware of the price action as well as the relative strength index and what it's telling you guys in the charts. And so unfortunately, we stopped out. But had I not stopped out of this trade, look at where Tesla's trading now. It's trading at 400. I don't know if you guys can see that. $428. It got up to $430.59. So had we not stopped out on as a full position, had I not seen the relative strength index, I wouldn't have stopped out. And we would be significantly underwater on this particular trade. So please, please, please pay attention to what the relative strength index is doing in addition to what the price action is doing. There's a whole story that it tells you, and it can save you lots and lots and lots of money. It can also make you lots of money. So trade wisely with it. All right, so the other one that I was noticing was Oracle. Oracle had this beautiful sell-off all day Friday. So here's the 12th. Nice sell-off. this would indicate to me that there was more selling pressure because it was basically doing the opposite of what Tesla was doing. So for me, Oracle should have headed down to $290, and that would have been a great level. However, it decided that it wanted to jump over $10 today. Oracle has been a stronger stock, and so unfortunately, we can't necessarily use the intraday chart because it's already overextended. There's a lot of buyer sentiment in here, and so this is one that I would have stayed away from anyways. And in fact, we did. IONQ. If we go to the intraday time or the daily time frame, look at this relative strength index. So you've got this. Let's go to the price action. So you've got this peak here then in 2021, another peak here in 2025. So if price action heads up into this trend line, you should get a decent pullback. Now look at what the relative strength index is doing. It's giving a little bit of negative RSI divergence on the daily time frame into some resistance. So again, around the $60 level is where it's likely to pull back. Now it is breaking out, or it does look like it could be breaking out of double top. So if it gets above $60 on a daily closing basis, it could want to go to $75 or even $100. Stocks like this, IONQ, they're meme stocks, but they're also in the AI space. And so the quantum computing is really, really, really hot right now. So please stay careful with this one. Again, $60 and any close above the $60 would be, for me, would be a stop out on a daily closing basis. All right, GDX. GDX is getting close to that $70 level. I had mentioned earlier that I was targeting $66.90. But as the relative strength index continues a little bit higher and price action continues or lacks some volatility, I end up shying away from those. And so that's what happened, right? So we had a little bit of volatility in the relative strength index on this chart. And then we had a little bit of volatility in the price action. Unfortunately, that all of it died out with gold sitting kind of at its all-time highs. And so $70 is still my entry level for GDX. I think that would be a great possible swing trade level. Not necessarily a day trade level, but a swing trade level. And similar to IONQ, I would put a stop at a close above $70 on a daily closing basis, and that would be my stop out. Silver is another chart that I was noticing. Look at this overextension on the silver chart. It is putting in some nice negative RSI divergence. So what I like to look for is price action, continuing higher with the relative strength index continuing a little bit lower. And that's what we're seeing in silver. Also, you're having some good volatility on the relative or on the price action, which means that there's some volatility in the relative strength index. So for me, this would be a no-brainer short right here around $42 an ounce on silver. I think it's got a pretty sizable pullback, come back into at least $36.81. That's what I'm seeing in the chart of silver. All right. So I've gone over a couple of them. Now let's go ahead and go into the RSI trade of the day. So in the stock tickers I was mentioning, Rocket Labs can rip. Rocket Labs had made a new all-time high on Friday briefly, but now it's heading a little bit higher. Let's take a look at the relative strength index. This is a thing of beauty, right? So you've got this, not only this upsloping trend line that has been a lot of support for Rocket Labs, but look at the relative strength index, right? You drop below the 50, price action headed higher. Relative strength index dropped below the 50 again, and now it's continuing up. It's still not to the overbought conditions. And you've got this beautiful upsloping trend line that connects this pivot low right here. This pivot high, this pivot high. So for me, the relative strength index, RSI trade of the day, is shorting RKLB at $60. $60 Pierce or $60 even number, shorting RKLB with an expected pullback of 3 to 5%. I love this price action with Rocket Labs. I love the relative strength index, volatility. So for me, this is a solid trade. Again, shorting RKLB at $60 with a 3 to 5% pullback. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys joining me. 8:45 every single morning. The market is open. If you guys like this content, please make sure you like, subscribe, follow, ring that bell. Stay tuned. Gareth Soloway is going to go over the incredible markets and what he sees in the next coming days, weeks, and even months. And you don't want to miss that. So he'll be live in less than 5 minutes. We'll see you guys next time in the trade, in the charts. Have a great day. Take care.
Hey guys, Lawton here with Verified Investing, back with another video from Kinesis. Thank you so much to Kinesis for sponsoring this video. So going onto the homepage, you can see that I'm logged in to Kinesis.money, and I want to highlight something I really think is cool. You guys know that I'm a trader, a pro trader here at Verified Investing. And did you know Kinesis gives you another way to trade? That's right. You're able to directly trade on the Kinesis platform and earn physical gold and silver while doing so. You can see here their trading platform and their charting platform is actually integrated with TradingView. That means the same charts that I'm used to using, that Gareth is used to using, that all of us here at Verified Investing are totally accessible for you to use. So this is a seamless transition if you want to chart on here. You can even see the order books and the history, right? So if I want to put in a trade, I can put in the price in USD or the amount in KAU as one of their pairings. I can set a limit order, stop limit, trailing stop, whatever I want here, and I can do good till cancel or fill or kill or whatever else I need. Additionally, I can see all of my orders down here. Going on the left side, I can see all the different pairings that Kinesis has on their exchange, such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. Really, really cool. So not only is it a platform that lets you earn money and earn physical gold for doing anything. If you're trading cryptocurrency anyways, Kinesis could be an option for you as well. Kinesis is really cool, and there's way too much just to talk about in one video. But if you want to learn more about Kinesis, go ahead and check them out in the link in the description. Thank you so much to Kinesis for sponsoring this video, and see you guys next time.